10 o'clock. You can catch it right here on ABC2. It's Calvert Hall taking on Loyola Blakefield, and joining us this morning, he is the head coach of Calvert Hall, Donald Davis, in with us. Not only are you the head coach, you're also a Calvert Hall alum, so this Thursday is very special to you, isn't it?
Absolutely. Thanks, first of all, for having me. But this is exciting to have the opportunity to coach in a game that I also played in, to see our young men excited as we lead in, to this, which is a very memorable experience for any of our students, whether it's just a young man in the student body or the young men that have the opportunity to play in the game. You
deal with your players on a daily basis, as you have now throughout your entire coaching career, and you see the excitement kind of go back and forth from game to game. And being honest, some games don't really seem to register on the level of importance, others do. Things change for the Turkey Bowl, don't they?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm fortunate that I have a group of kids that's passionate about playing, so I see that excitement every day in practice. They've certainly attacked each game this year with a level of enthusiasm and work ethic that's made us successful. But there's something about Thanksgiving morning that the entire community joins in on, and that just kind of raises the level of excitement for our kids.
But you've got a little extra involved in this, because not only are you the head coach, you're also an alum yourself. You played back in the early 90s, so you get a little bit extra there.
Absolutely. And again, for our entire alumni base, they understand as well as I do, this is an extremely important game for us as alums, for our school community. So, I try to do the very best I can to get our kids to put their best foot forward on the field when we get out there Thanksgiving morning.
Coach, what is it about this rivalry? Because you and I were kind of going back over the past 10, 15, 20 years, and it's never really been a Loyola wins one year, Calvert wins one year, back and forth, back and forth. They kind of win in bunches, don't they?
They do. And I don't know really, how to explain that, other than I guess you get into groups of years where there's just a group of really, really good kids at one school that seem to grab the momentum maybe better than the guys on the other side. But there's always great kids in the rivalry, whether it's at Calvert Hall, whether it's at Loyola, and I certainly believe that right now, that they've got a great group of kids over there, and I certainly have a great group of kids over here. So I think it's still anyone's game, in spite of the ebb and flow of it. I still think that it's anyone's game every year.
How much has it changed in 20 years? You as a player, now coming back as a coach, how has the game changed in that time frame?
One of the best things about tradition is that it hasn't. It's the same excitement for those young men, the same enthusiasm. The same way as a player, I got to run onto the same field that Johnny Unitas played on. Our young men get to run on the same field that Ray Lewis played on. So, I mean, time changes things, but in terms of the very solid foundation of the rivalry, it's exactly the same. Two great school communities, two great student bodies, and two great teams are going to get it on Thanksgiving morning.
You talk about tradition allowing things to remain the same. What is it about high school athletics? Because kids become so interested in other things, especially these days. So much is readily available for them. You work with these kids and these athletes just as your coach worked with you and his coach worked with him. What is it about high school athletics?
Well, certainly high school and youth athletics is still the game in its purest form. You have players who are not being paid to play. They're volunteering, to come out there and put themselves on the line and learn a little bit about the game. And still they're in a developmental stage where they're learning a lot about themselves. And so to watch that sort of maturation in a young man, I mean, the game is something we love and something we enjoy participating in, but really it's the maturation of the young men involved that makes the game special and makes being a part of teams special.
All right, Coach, let's fast forward now to Thanksgiving morning, right around 9:40, 9:45. Time to give the pregame speech. Give me a preview.
Oh, man. Sometimes that stuff sort of just comes to you. One of the big themes with our kids this year has been, this team is digging its own well. They're digging a well for the guys that come behind them, to continue to follow that tradition. And I'll just remind them of that and thank my seniors again for their 4 years of hard work. Those guys that you've had the opportunity to talk to, as well as their classmates, and remind them to just go out and have fun and enjoy being in the moment.
All right, Coach Davis.
Thank you.
For the time.
God bless.
Head Coach Donald Davis. He is with Calvert Hall. That game once again coming up Thanksgiving morning, 10 o'clock, right here at 10 o'clock on ABC2. You want to check it out.